Welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to discuss about the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. And if you want to know the basics about the scheduling algorithms, please do watch my previous videos which I am going to give in the description box. Okay, so in the first come first serve scheduling algorithm, so the main criteria here is non-preemptive. So preemptive means there will be some context switching between the process, and here non-preemptive, that means the CPU is going to execute the particular process completely. Okay, so here the criteria is non-preemptive. And another thing here, there is no starvation, that means the lengthy process should not there is no chance of waiting for the chance of the CPU here, CPU scheduling, and each and every process will get the time to execute completely. Okay, and there is another drawback here, that is called as the convoy effect. Okay, so here the drawback here is convoy effect. So what is the convoy effect? So the process with higher burst time arrived before the process with the smaller burst time, then the smaller process have to wait for a longer process to release the CPU. So that is called as the convoy effect. Okay, and here the first come first serve scheduling algorithm follows the data structure called queue, and it is very simple and easy to implement. Okay, so let us see a small example how to solve this FCFS scheduling algorithm. So here there is a problem. So with the process ID P1 to P5 and arrival time burst time given. So the first come first serve scheduling algorithm, so we are going to give the criteria for arrival time. So here the main criteria here is non-preemptive and arrival time. So based on the arrival time we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so here, so what is the process with less arrival time? So that is 0. So the process has entered the ready queue at the time 0. So this table is called as a Gantt chart. So here the table is called as a Gantt chart. Okay, so in this Gantt chart we are going to schedule this algorithm. So the P3 has arrived at the ready queue first. So this is 0. So at the time 0 it has arrived at the ready queue. So up to which amount of time it has executed, for the 2 units of time it has executed here. So 0 to 2, so P3 is executing. Okay, so at the arrival time 2, so what are the number of processes that have been in the ready queue? So we will check this arrival time. So nothing has arrived here. So that's why we are going to take the time here. So we are going to, the CPU time here is idle. So there is no process being executed. Okay, so at the arrival time 3, so again we are going to check here. So what are the process that have arrived? So the process that have arrived is process P1. So we are going to take the process P1 with burst time 4. So 3 plus 4 equals to 7. Okay, so next again we are going to check the arrival time 7 here. So what are the number of process that have arrived in the arrival time 7? So the process P2 and process P4 has arrived here with the arrival times. Okay, so P2, P4 and P5. Okay, so here we are going to take this one, so P5. So P5 we are going to execute for the see here so we are going to take the process P5 here with the arrival time 4. Right here the arrival time is 4. That's why we are going to take the process P5 in the Gantt chart. So what is the execution time here? 3. So 10 plus 3, so 7 plus 3 equals to 10. Okay, so next process are P2 and P4, right? So P2 and P4 we are having, and here the problem is they are having the same arrival time, right? It is having the same arrival time. So at that time, so we have to select the particular process which is having the faster, which is having the lessest process ID. So here the P2 is having the process ID less compared to the P4, right? So we are going to select the particular process based on the process ID. So here the process ID is P2. So we are going to execute the P2 for 3 units here, 13 up to 13. So next the process P4. This is the remaining process. So it is going to execute for the burst time 1, so P14. So like that we have solved the Gantt chart. So now we have to calculate the completion time, turnaround time and waiting time. Okay, so here the completion time. So this is the exit time. So how can you calculate the completion time means, so the time taken by the process P1 to execute completely, right? So completion time is the time taken to execute the process. So P1 has taken so at what time it has completed the execution? At 7. So 7 we are taking. So next one is process P2. So the completion time is 13. Okay, and then P3. So it has completely executed at 2. And P4 is 14 and P5 is 10. So like that we have calculated the completion time. So next one is the turnaround time. So before going to turnaround time, the formula is the completion time minus arrival time. So completion time minus arrival time is the formula for this one. Okay. So completion time minus arrival time. So that is the turnaround time. So we are going to take the completion time minus arrival time. And for the waiting time, turnaround time minus burst time. Okay. So turnaround completion time is 7 minus arrival time. So 3. 7 minus 3 equals to 4. So similarly, 13 minus 5 equals to 8. 2 minus 0 equals to 2. And 14 minus 5 equals to 9. 10 minus 4 equals to 6. So like that we have solved the turnaround time. Turnaround time is nothing but the total amount of execution time taken starting from the time when the process has arrived into the ready state to the ending state, that is up to the state of the termination. So next one is the waiting state. So in the waiting state we are having the turnaround time minus burst time. So this is the formula. So turnaround time minus burst time. So 4 minus, so this is the turnaround time minus burst time. 4 minus 4 equals to 0. So similarly, for process P2, 8 minus 3 equals to 5. For P3, 2 minus 2 equals to 0. And for P4, 9 minus 1 equals to 8. And for 6 minus 3 equals to 3. And we have to calculate the average turnaround time and average waiting time. So for that, so what are the number of processes here? 5. And what is the total? 29. So 29 by 5 is the average turnaround time. And the average waiting time is 16. Total is 16 by 5 processes. So this is the average waiting time. Okay, so this is about the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Thanks for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe.